Hi everyone, I'm Nicola from Elimee Designs and welcome to episode 5 of our vlog. So a lot has happened in the last month. Not anything that was planned, unfortunately. We all managed to come down with COVID. Yay, having COVID when you're pregnant. The youngest got a vomiting bug, then my husband got a really bad chest infection, then my eldest came down with a vomiting bug, then I came down with a vomiting bug. It's just been a bit miserable in terms of illness this month. However, we're mostly back to normal, and I have still managed to do some crocheting, to have a bit of fun with the family. So it's not been a terrible month, but that's obviously not why you're here. You're here to have a look at all of the crochet things that we've been up to for this last month. Just to let you know, I'll pop in the show notes below a link to anywhere that you can find us on social media if you are interested. But otherwise, we shall crack on with finished objects. Okay, so let's get the boring ones out of the way first, because you've seen in a fair few of these vlog episodes the Caitlin hacked scarves that I've been making as Christmas presents. And I have finished 3 more. Hadn't intended to make quite this many. I had intended to move on to some ear warmers, finish some mittens, you know, all of the other bits and pieces that you've been seeing. But, you know, I needed something that didn't require an awful lot of brain power. So this is where I'm at. So firstly, I have made an adult sized one in this lovely silvery grey. And yes, I have gone for tassels again. I have put pom-poms, I think, on one of them so far. And whilst I do love a good pom-pom, I just think tassels are so much easier. I always find that kind of trying to tie the pom-poms tight enough that they don't just disintegrate the second you touch them isn't very easy. So tassels it is. So this one is made from silver Starcraft Special DK. I can get my words out, that's where I can. And was made with the leftovers from my Caitlin zigzag blanket. So the original Caitlin, which I made, gosh, over a year ago now. So yeah, this has come out of stash. Typically I did have to buy another ball just to finish it off because I didn't quite have enough just to do the last couple of inches and the tassels, but I'm sure it'll get used again somewhere else. Secondly, is another adult version, but it's pink and lots of shades of pink. Now, as I'm sure I mentioned last time, probably not the best yarn to make one of these out of because it's so variegated and the colour changes very quickly. The zigzag pattern isn't the easiest to see. However, it does match my daughter's. She's got a kiddie version of this. And, you know, as I said to you before, I started it when I was in the hospital waiting for my husband to be seen. I needed something that didn't require a lot of brain power, and I have I have memorized this pattern, so it was just a nice and easy project to do, and it again has lots of lovely tassels. So this one was made from the Wilko's chainette yarn in purple mix. Yes, we've had this debate before, it's pink not purple, but we're not the people that got to name the yarn. So the last one that I have made this month is child-sized, and it is in this lovely blue colour. What do you think? So this one, unless my girls change their mind, is destined for one of their little friends for Christmas. The green one that I made last time was for my nephew, so they've decided that this blue one is going to go to one of their friends. And this is made in the shade Aster from Starcraft Special DK. Sorry, the tassels aren't that long, they've just folded over funnily. Okay, and I finally managed to go to a yarn shop and buy the yarn to finish my Caitlin zigzag blanket for Bump. So it still needs blocking, so it's not perfect, but don't you just love these colours? Aren't they amazing? And it now has a little border on it and everything. It's just, yeah, I think that Bump is going to love it as much as I do. So we've got the Starcraft, let me get this right, it's the Chunky. So Starcraft Special Chunky in plum and teal. And I just alternated the stripes, so 1 repeat per stripe. And then if you can see, I've just added a simple moss stitch border. So starting with the teal and ending with 1 row of the plum, which I think finishes it quite nicely. I could have gone for the half double slip stitch border that comes with the pattern, but decided I wanted to shake things up a bit and do something slightly different today. So the next bit has been my little bit of fun for the month. So I don't know how many of you watched my first ever vlog episode. If you did, you will know that amigurumi is not my strong point. I have been gifted some books with amigurumi. I've been gifted the yarn to make some of the things from these books, and I still plan to do it, although perhaps after I finish all of the Christmas presents. But I made an amigurumi. Now this was not one of the ones from my books. This was from my friend Deb over at Hukanori, who did a cal, and I wanted to show her a bit of support, so I decided I would take part in her Halloween cal, regardless of how good or bad my amigurumi skills are. My friend Hazel from my crochet group very kindly came around to the house literally while I was unwell to help me figure out how to assemble the pieces in a less disturbing way than I would normally manage by myself. And I think it turned out really well. So my girls really loved it. They were playing with it the second that I had finished. So this, if you can see, is my Franken egg. So let me just hold it a little bit closer. So I made it entirely from what scraps I had in stash, but also in colours that I thought my girls would like. So it's made mainly with Starcraft Special DK. So this is Midnight Blue, which was from the Heavenly Hugs baby blanket, so it was left over from that. Some Cornish blue, no, Cloud Blue, sorry, which if you've seen the picture of my daughter with her rainbow earwarmer, you recognise. Some Violet, again from one of the earwarmers, and I think from the Mariposa as well, the first one. Obviously googly eyes, these weren't the recommended size or style, but they are what I had to hand. And then some white for the details. I think perhaps I should have chosen a slightly darker colour because it's kind of a bit hard to see all the details, but you can see all those little scars and things. And then the bolts that you can see coming out either side of his neck are the JC Brett Twinkle yarn in silver, which is what I used for my festive higgy blanket to join it all together and to add the border. So no yarn was wasted. I even stuffed the little bits that I had to chop off whilst making this inside the egg to try and reduce the amount of wastage. But yeah, I think he looks super cute. Let me know what you think. Whether or not I should make any more amigurumi, whether I should cut my career short there. So the last finished object I'm going to show you this week is another festive higgy blanket. So the one that I showed you for the sneak peek was for my eldest. She saw it when I was making it and said, "Oh, Mummy, can I have that? I really, really like it." And I was like, "Yes, you can have that one." Of course, in trundles the youngest, who then goes, "Oh, Mummy, can I have one too?" And I'm like, okay. They take a little while to make, but I will make you one, I promise. In time for Christmas as well. So I decided to stick with the same colour scheme because I already had a lot of that yarn to hand. But I did use the other motifs. So there's a few that are also present in the first blanket, but there's also all of the ones that were missed from the first blanket because I only made them 9 squares big because my kids aren't that old. They don't need enormous blankets. So if I can get this the right way around, I will show you what hers looks like. So again, I'm not going to be able to get this all on camera at once because I'm far too close to the camera and it's quite a big blanket, but here is festive higgy blanket number 2. So let me go through these squares, some of which you'll have seen before. So you've got a sort of squares and zigzags motif on this one. You've got a stocking, which I think you've seen before, and an angel, which I think you've seen before. Underneath that, you've got the Joyeux Noël. Oh gosh, if I can hold it in the right places. So I did learn French when I was at school many years ago, and picked it up again, gosh, before the girls were born for a couple of years, and was doing really well with it. But I stopped going to my tutor when I had a bit of a cancer scare. You might be able to see my scar here on my neck. Fortunately, it turned out to not be cancer, but I never quite got back around to resuming my lessons because I did lots and lots of crafting instead. So I did more crochet, more sewing, started this business, so I never quite got around to it. I must go back at some point. So this is the December 25th one. Hopefully you can see it, because I can't see through the blanket anymore to see what you're seeing. This one, oh, if I can get the hair off of it, I don't want loads of those, is the Merry Christmas. Then you've got the snowman that you've seen before, which is, I think, my favourite. The Nordic Star. And the last one is the Christmas bauble. So, for those of you who aren't already aware, this blanket is being released as a cowl that is going on as we speak. So we started on the 1st of November and it finishes on the 12th of December. So we're in the middle of week 2 at the moment. There are going to be 6 weeks in total where this pattern comes out in cowl sections. So it's definitely not too late to take part if you would like to. The pattern is on Ravelry. It won't go on Etsy until the end of the cowl, just because of the difficulty of releasing a pattern in sections. The cowl is being held in my Facebook group, so again, link down below. And there are some giveaways going on. Now, I have told the group that there are giveaways, and there are 2. There's one on Facebook and one on Instagram that are going to be drawn at the end of the cowl, but I haven't revealed the prizes yet. So one of the prizes, so they're each, so the Facebook and the Instagram are going to get the same prizes. So they're each going to get a voucher to spend in the Elimee Designs pattern shop. But they're also, let me open this because it came in the post the other day, going to be getting something else. So comes in this lovely green box and it's all wrapped up nicely. Let me just open it up. So I'm going to be giving half to each of the winners. Oh, it looks like they've given me a bonus gift as well. Looks like I might get to keep one. Let me just try and shake it down so you can see them all at once. No, one of them's got a bit twisted in the packet, but it'll be fine when we open it. So I have got from the Sister Stitches stash some lovely stitch/progress markers. And these are all Christmas themed because, well, we're making a Christmas blanket, and I don't know how well you can see them, but there's a little, I think it's a bell. Yeah, that's a bell. A stocking, a wreath, a Christmas tree. There's also a Santa and a snowman. And this one, this orange one, looks like a gummy bear. So I think that might be a bonus one, because that definitely wasn't on the listing, that I get to keep for myself. So thank you very much to the Sisters Stitches. Nope, the Sisters Stash. I will get this right. I will put the right link down below, I promise. So let's pop that back in there for now so that I don't lose it. Okay, so moving on to whips. Now there are quite a few whips, but I'm not going to be sharing them all. I have three patterns that I'm making samples for at the moment, so they're not in testing yet, but I don't want to ruin the surprise of what they're going to be. I do actually have a pattern in testing at the moment, so I hadn't planned on releasing another pattern this year, but circumstances being what they were and wanting to do as much as possible before the baby comes, I seized the opportunity when I realised it was there to do another pattern. So that should come out of testing next week, so you'll probably see that towards the end of the month. What I have to show you are some socks. Oh, I've really taken to socks this year. No, I won't be designing any socks anytime soon. They look far too complicated, but I like making them. So this one is in my Lovecrafts whip bag, which if you've seen the unboxing video, you'll know they gave me as a freebie for my mystery bag. And these, yes, I say these because there is more than one. Oh, just look at them. Just look at them, appreciate those colours. Aren't they absolutely gorgeous? So if you've been here before, you'll know that I am making these socks for my best friend for Christmas. I was supposed to be making them for last Christmas, ran out of time, and she'd asked for rainbow socks and I found the perfect yarn. I haven't woven in my ends yet. Yeah, it's a bit naughty. But this is the West Yorkshire Spinners signature 4-ply in the shade Rum Paradise. And once I finish hers, I am going to make a matching pair for her little girl, who one of my patterns is named after. So this second sock is very, very close to finished. As you can see, I've literally just got to the point where I'm going to start doing the decreases for the toe. So it's really, really close to done. And then I can start on the smaller pair. But I've had so much fun using this yarn. I mean, it's just, look at those colours. They're just amazing. Absolutely amazing. And hopefully she will love them. The reason they kept going on pause is that I kept wanting her to try them on to make sure they fit. But she had her last fit. Which is why I quickly whizzed up most of sock number 2 fairly quickly after sock 1. So when you come back next time, they will be finished. They will be finished, I promise. And hopefully, she says, I'll have finished her daughter's as well. Because I have got a little bit of time off work coming up, so hopefully I can bosh out some Christmas presents during that time. So the second pair of socks are ones that you've seen in passing. So this is my pair of the same pattern, but in my size. So this is the Yarnspirations Crochet pattern socks, or patterns Crochet socks, whichever way around you say it. And this was the one that I made for my husband that failed, that was far too small, so I redid it for myself. And as you'll remember from my first episode, I ran out of yarn just before finishing the second sock. And when I made my head over heels pair that you may have seen a few episodes ago, so the purpley / yellowy Stylecraft pair, I was thinking of using what was left of that to finish off the toe for this one. But I actually found some different yarn in my stash that I'm finishing off with. I think will go a little bit better because it's a solid and it's a little bit more muted, unlike the kind of purpley one from Stylecraft. So this is my one. I think I've only got a few more rows left to go before I start doing the toe decreases. I don't know what I'm doing with words today. Baby brain, that's what I'm going to blame this on. Baby brain. But you'll see they're very, very close to finished. So hopefully I'll manage to finish those for myself as well. Now, this is where I completely garble the name of a yarn company. I am really sorry. I don't know how to pronounce it properly. If you know how to pronounce it, please, please put it in the comments phonetically for me so that I get it right next time. So that extra toe section is the Sachenmeyer, that one that I can't pronounce. It's the Regia range 4-ply, and let me just double check the colour. Oh, so it's not got a name, so it was 01078, and yeah, that is the name of the company that I can't pronounce. Apologies to this company for me bungling it completely. The main colour for the socks that are for me has now been discontinued, which is why I couldn't order any more when I ran out. And that is from JC Brett, Funny Feets in, oh gosh, I'll have to write below which colour it was. But they still have the range, but they just don't do that particular colour anymore. So that's why mine are a bit Frankenstein looking. But I don't care. Only I'm going to see it. It's going to be underneath my shoes. It's going to keep my feet warm this winter. It's fine. So I have finished my whips, or at least the whips that I'm going to be showing you. And now well, I'm moving on to a few of the fun things that I have received recently. So let me just pull them all over so a bit closer. So first things first is I had a birthday this month, as did my youngest. And as part of my birthday present, my daughters decided that they would get me something a little bit yarn related that they thought that I might like. So because she loves rainbows, as you have seen from the many, many rainbow coloured things I have made, I first got a set of rainbow coloured stitch markers. Don't ask me where these are from, they were presents, so I have no idea. And secondly, the other yarny gift they got me, these are probably going to be slightly difficult for you to see on camera, was a set of Christmassy stitch markers. So I've got like a gingerbread man, gosh, half of them are facing the wrong way. You've got stockings, you've got, oh gosh, snowflakes, Christmas trees, presents, Santas, reindeer. There's quite a few on there. Sorry that you can't see them awfully well. But I thought that was very sweet of them. They knew that I was doing Christmas blankets and they wanted to get me something Christmassy. I know it's not Christmas yet, but I do love Christmas. I love the run up to Christmas, the what am I going to get them for Christmas, how to make it really special for them. So I was absolutely over the moon to receive those. Next, I won a prize. So I've been entering a few giveaways recently to try and win some of the gorgeous yarn that people hand dye, because let's face it, at the moment, what with paying for 2 kids, having a mortgage, having another kid on the way, my bank balance is not quite as rosy as I would like. So I thought I would try and win some. So this yarn is from Critical Hit Dyes. That's their card. Hopefully you can see that okay. And it's at Critical Hit Dyes on Instagram. And look at this gorgeous yarn that they sent me. So that's their label. And this is the colour. So it's Mabon or Mabon, or I'm going to say it with a French accent because it sounds cool. Mabon. And it is fingering weight yarn. It is 85% superwash extra fine merino, 15% nylon, and there are, so it's 100 grams, which is 437 yards. So I have no idea what I'm going to make out of it yet, but isn't it just absolutely stunning? I mean, and it's so soft. One of the great things about going yarn shopping is being able to squish all of the yarn. But I've never got to have squishes of hand-dyed yarn, and oh, it's just, yeah, amazing. So if you have any suggestions on what I can make with one skein of fingering weight yarn that would look good in this colorway, then please let me know. I've never crocheted with fingering weight yarn yet, so this will be my first, and I'm very much looking forward to it. Quietly, oh my gosh, a little bit more, oh my gosh, I can't even, seriously, baby brain. Okay, not quite as impressively is what I was trying to say and completely bungling there. I also ordered some more yarn recently myself. So I needed a few balls to finish off some of the finished objects that you can see, and a few bits for some of the patterns that I am making samples for. But I decided to buy something for myself. So it's a little bit nicer than the usual yarn that I get. But I decided, once I saw the colour, yes, I had to have it. So this is some of the Stylecraft Highland Heathers range in shade Thistle. Now, is that, or is that not gorgeous? I know it's not hand-dyed yarn and nothing is ever going to compare to that, but given my budget, I thought this was absolutely gorgeous. So I ordered a few of these that I'm going to make something for myself with. Well, I say going to, I've already started making something for myself with. I just haven't finished it yet, and it's not one of the ones that I can show you today. And I also ordered a few balls of the same yarn in the colourway Grist, because again, I thought it was a nice neutral colour and that perhaps I could make something for my husband for Christmas without him knowing. Not quite sure what yet. I've ordered the yarn to make him some socks. Unfortunately, everywhere online when I was doing this order was out of stock of the sock yarn that I wanted to get for him. I went to my local crochet shop and it was out of stock there, but they were able to order it. So fingers crossed that it arrives in time for Christmas, and fingers crossed that I decide what on earth to make him out of this, because it's really nice. Okay, and then the last thing I got this month, oh, I should have bought some scissors to try and crack into this, is that during the last month, oh yeah, I can slit it open, okay. I have signed up for the Crochetpreneur Business Academy to try and help get my business out there a little bit more, help grow it a little bit, so that I feel less guilty about the amount of time I spend working on it, and obviously so that I can buy myself, you know, prettier yarn and even prettier yarn in the future. So as part of their signing up, you get a welcome box. So let's see, sorry, it comes in this cute little box that came in the post. And let's see what I have got. So there is oh my gosh, what's the right word? Not a study card, but like a summary their success method. Got a little sticker, because who doesn't love a sticker? Some Post-its with the brand on the front, but they're actually all different sizes inside. Is this like a bumper sticker? I'm not sure. Does it go in your car? I can't quite tell what it is. A coaster, of course, and it says on the back, "You are the CEO. That means you have to want this and you have to believe in this more than anyone else does or will." Maybe it's not a coaster. It looks like there's little ridges. Maybe there's multiple cards in there. Maybe they're like little phrases and things to pep you up and get you going. There is a notebook. Oops. Okay, now I'm dropping things. Apologies. A pen. What are these? Oh, this looks like a pin. A little pin. And a bag. Let's just open this up. Oh, a drawstring bag. This I could use as a whip bag. So it says, "Who me? Oh, just..." What does that say? I can't read loopy handwriting. "Oh, just turning yarn into money. What are you up to?" That's cute. So I think that will become one of my whip bags for now, because as you know, I have many ugly plasticky whip bags because I haven't got around to making many more. So I found them to be very useful so far. I've learned a lot. I've been changing a lot in the business. I don't know if you've noticed any of that yet. But I've got a 1-year membership, so we shall see how that goes and how much success that brings me. If you want to know any more about it, I will pop the link below. But yeah, so I have a lot to be getting on with. So I've got 3 patterns that I'm making samples for. I've got, oh gosh, at least I can see from here, at least 2 Christmas presents plus the whips in progress. I've got a list of other Christmas presents that I want to make, and I have the baby cardigan to finish for Bump before they arrive, one of my first bits of knitting. I've got the elf hat to finish sewing up the side and add the bell to so it can be an ornament, and then a bigger version to make that will actually fit Bump. Oh gosh, I've still got all of that sewing to do as well that I haven't even touched. Fingers crossed that I actually get some of my annual leave coming up to do some of these things, because recently, every time I've had annual leave, I've had somebody be sick. So when I was off on Tuesday, you know, that was my day off in lieu for the Queen's funeral, because I don't work Mondays normally. And I had a vomity 5-year-old to look after instead of getting any work done. So fingers crossed that I do get lots done over the next couple of weeks before I go back for a short stint and then go on maternity leave. So wish me luck. Oh, apologies, this is my cat Hero who wanted to say hello. Happy crocheting to you. Until we meet again, have fun.